Hi, my name's Joe, and this is my 2017 Chevrolet SS, otherwise known as the Holden Commodore in Australia. Yeah, so I was thinking for a long time. I was in between vehicles. Got rid of my last vehicle. Kinda wanted something fast, but also wanted something different and could kind of fly under the radar. I was looking at CTSVs, kind of wanted a Corvette. Somebody just kind of threw this out. I started researching them and fell in love with the cars. I realized that I had never even seen one in person, and I just decided I was gonna buy one, and just kind of started joining Facebook groups, learning about the car, reading forums. Love sedans, love V8s, love manual transmissions, and this car had it all. Being a 2017 in Nightfall Gray Metallic, it's the only year that they painted the car this color, but this car specifically, Nightfall Gray Metallic, a manual transmission, sunroof, is, I think this one's number 42 of 146. These were a pretty limited run. I think the manual versions of these cars, I've heard different figures. Some people say only 5% of these were manual, and some people say up to 10% were manual. Finding this car it proved difficult. The car has a lot of mods. They came factory LS3. It was rated for 415 horse at the crank, and now I'm putting ballpark of 800 plus at the rear wheels. It's got an LSA supercharger. It was sent out to Kong, and it was ported. It's got a 225 upper. It's got a BTR stage 2 cam, titanium springs, upgraded rockers, push rods, ARH exhaust, 2-inch primaries to 3-inch catless X pipe. And I actually had the exhaust sent out and fully Cerakoted to prevent heat from staying in the engine bay. It's got an oversized heat exchanger, McLeod RTX twin disc clutch, E85 conversion, it's flex fuel. That's most of it for the power mods. Change the fuel up and throwing a ton of boost at it, stock bottom end, and the car seems to love it. Doesn't really miss a beat. The only issues I've had were throttle body. I've had a couple of throttle bodies that weren't really agreeing with the car too much. Suspension, it's just sitting on some lowering springs. They're called King lowering springs, and these are BC forged wheels. The fronts are 20 by 9 plus 35, and the rears are 20 by 10.5 plus 48. The tires in the back are 315 30 20s, and the fronts are 255 35 20. Other than that, it's got the stock muffler in the back. They're bimodal, so when you put it in loud mode, it's it's basically like it's straight piped. It doesn't seem to muffle anything whatsoever. Interior mods, I put a MGW short throw shifter kit in it, titanium shift knob. I sent the A-pillar out to JCS Pods and had them mold a 3-pillar mount in it. Commodore Specialties spoiler, some headlights that I had built in Australia. The factory housings are actually fully chrome, and I didn't really care for the chromed out look. In Australia, they actually have blackout housings. Contacted the guy down there, had him build me the quad projector setup, and then I had the lenses etched with the AirCav logo with the unit that I was deployed with. We were the Air Asset company of Black Hawks. That's why I kind of got the headlights engraved with that, because I don't really like the license plates that have the metal by it or stickers all over the car. It's just a little too loud for my taste, but I still kind of wanted a little hat tip to how I bought the car over the phone when I was there with the cavalry. I love how brutal this car is. I'm kind of a ham-fisted ape, so I just love when you can get on this thing, you can burn rubber and just hear the engine scream. The supercharger whine, just the mechanical noise of it. So I did a kind of a Holden conversion. It's not fully done yet. When you bought these cars factory, you could actually just get them with the Holden logo in the grille, on the trunk. These cars were built, this one was built in South Elizabeth, Australia, and this one was ordered without that option. I made a Holden key actually, and then I sent all the electronics out to a company to flash it with the Australian software. So when you start the car, instead of having the blue screens and the Chevy bow tie, when you start it up, it's red screens, has a Holden emblem, and then you actually get a performance menu that way. The best moment with the car was actually the first time I saw it, being that I was in Iraq at the time. And one of my friends sent me the listing to this car. Talked to the guy, and I was like, dude, I know this is gonna sound like a scam, but I'm in Iraq and I wanna buy your car. If I could find some internet, do you wanna maybe FaceTime me and so I can tell you or prove to you that this isn't a scam? And he was receptive to that. I was able to find some internet. It was absolutely atrocious. Visuals were worthless, basically. It was skipping and whatever, but he could hear my voice. He knew that I was like an actual person. And then I had to figure out how to get the car from Texas to Minnesota. So I was able to get in touch with my parents, and they were so cooped up with COVID that they jumped at the opportunity to take a road trip. I normally like to wrench on my own stuff, but I just wanted to come home to something really cool. So I had them bring it to Twin Cities Performance and talk to them. And I was like, hey, here's what I want, do the thing, I don't care. I'm still not gonna be home for like 4 months. So when I came home, seeing this car for the first time, that was my best moment with the car. The future plans of this car, with this being supercharged, and it wasn't originally, there's not a whole lot of heat extraction with the hood. These vents are functional, but they're more, I don't even know what they're for. They don't really move a whole lot of air. But they make a ZL1 style hood that has a extractor right above the supercharger, and that would be super helpful for temps on track days or sitting in traffic. Subtle visual touches. I kind of want to change the headliner to black. They're gray, and that just kind of bugs me. Another thing I had done when I was still out of the country, I had been in touch with James Kaufman since 2014. He runs Glisten Detailing. Since I had looked for this color for so long, I knew I had to protect the paint, and he actually talked me into a full custom clear bra. Whatever their really good clear bra is, it's ceramic infused, and it actually heals itself in the heat. So if you get some light scratches and leave it out in the sun, it'll make itself look good again. I don't have a whole lot of social media. The only thing I do have is an Instagram for this car. The Instagram handle for this thing, Northstar_6.2. Yeah, I just want to thank all the people that helped me coordinate these things when I was out of the country and made that moment so special when I actually came home to see the car. Had some help from some SS enthusiasts, TJ Beetle, Logan. They helped transport the car to the performance shop, and on the way home, they actually brought it to an airfield and staged pictures in front of a P-51 Mustang and a couple other aircraft, and they took photos of the SS's together. And they did that specifically because they knew I hadn't seen the car yet. It's like a present, and that was super special. Also, my parents for making the trek, drove this thing all the way from Texas to Minnesota for me. The shops that I've worked with have been very great to work with. They were very patient with the difficulty in communication. It's been a very good experience.